Hello, welcome back for the final part, I hope. We'll see. Maybe not, maybe it's a good thing. Path of the Ronin, Camo challenges, and I'm going to go through each gun, each class, and a recommendation of game mode that's preferable. At the end of the day though, the challenges are headshots for everything except for launches, kills, and the melee is killing them, stabbing from behind. So that should be fun. Let's get started. Assault rifles, they're all pretty good. Lockman, yeah, except that it's trash. Yeah. And 16 is trash. It's okay. You're going for headshots. It's not rocket science. All you need, pick an assault rifle. Doesn't matter which one you pick. Again, up to you. What's your preference? My recommendation, if you're not a good shooter, the stock standard sight on the M4 here is beautiful. But just chuck on Ronin Mini Red Dot, Mini Pro, maybe even the XRX on point optic. And if you're playing in, that's for middle distance, short distance, or no scope. And then we're talking, maybe Lone Wolf optical for anything that's sort of mid-range, mid-ish range, not too far, of course. Your headshots. So all you're doing, aiming for the head. Simple, yes, challenging at times. For the most part, I think the best strategy is not to worry too much about the headshots and just play normally. But there'll be situations in which you get the drop on enemies, which you can, previously, maybe you've just gone for the body and gone for the easy kill. You'll purposely go for the headshot and should be okay most of the time. Sometimes you may miss out on a kill because you've gone for the headshot, but you've got to be greedy. Maybe you miss out on your double kills because you try to get 2 headshots in a row, things like that. The best modes, of course, domination, shipment. There's no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. Shipment's the best map. Shoot house is good to get range. And for longer range weapons, your battle rifles and your snipers, I'll get to those. Okay, next we'll go. So we're domination, any map, but shipment's preferred. So battle rifles, they're all trash. For TAC Recon's, I think the best. The TAC V's not terrible. Again, you're talking mid-range here, so if you can hit them in the head with any of these guns, you'll be fine. But for the most part, stay away from the Lockman 762. If you're hitting heads on the SO14, you're golden. But at the same time, I think the Attack Recon is the most forgiving of these. So you'll be tapping away. So you grab your, whichever one it is, let's just grab the Attack Recon, blah, 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 go to the Gunsmith. And again, sights, I think, helpful. So in this case, you can go for something sort of middle. You can chuck on, say, a holotherm. I like the holotherm, but it's probably not the best for this sort of thing. Yeah, exactly. The Kazan holds nice with the optic, little green dot. Any sort of scope, maybe. Probably overdoing it. Thermal scopes, because you want to get numbers. So it's not about getting a perfect streak. It's just about getting consistency as you play through. So you don't need a huge scope. It'll just hurt you in the short range engagements, which even then, you're not gonna. Maybe you'll get a couple of hip fire lucky shots to the head, but shoot house. Preferred map and any mode, it's because you want a little bit of range to work with. Because again, whether you win a short range sprint to firefight with someone with a submachine gun while you're holding the battle rifle, unlikely. You never know, but unlikely. So you want to be able to do. I think domination is still good because people will be on the point, but invasion, ground war, bigger team modes, I think they sort of suit the battle rifle as well. So you do have plenty of options. So again, you're not forced into anything, but at the same time, the classics sort of uphold. Team deathmatch, depending on the map. If you know the map well, you can dominate any weapon. But the battle rifle, you need to get the drop on the enemies for the most part, unless say you're a shoot house, you know that they're going to be on the opposite sides, and you know basically where they're going to come from, and you can sort of sit and wait for them. You can try and out-snipe a sniper. If you got to put a big scope on there, you can probably do that. I don't recommend hardcore for any of these challenges because they're headshots. So you have less time to kill, so less time for them to kill you. So it's just a bit riskier, that's all. So they just get a lucky shot with a pistol and they get you, and it's a bit more painful. But in general, pretty much all these recommendations are going to be very similar for game modes. But at the same time, there's sort of a caveat here and there that you have more options in terms of longer range engagements with the battle rifle. And the assault rifle really has crazy range, to be honest. Alright, SMGs. Stay away from the Veal. Lockman sub, MP4 40. Absolutely, gimme
You can maybe do the Hurricane's not terrible. MX-9's not terrible. Mini back's okay. It's got plenty of bullets. And your PD, what are they? These stupid names, stupid legal battles. PDSW. They're all good. Again, I do recommend you chuck a sight on. Maybe the MP40 is probably the exception to that rule because you can run no sight, just goes, and you can still snipe people in the head pretty well without any sort of sight. But I reckon if you do have any issues with accuracy, or you just want to be more secure, just a basic Ronin Mini Pro. Absolute gimme. The red dot or the Mini Pro. One of these. You just want that little dot, just so you can be sure. And you can, I wouldn't recommend anything bigger than that, honestly, but it's up to you, your preference. But yeah, stick there. And then your submachine gun, so shipment 24/7, absolutely one of the best ways to go, just because you'll have the opportunities, just for so many chances to get kills, so many chances for those to be headshots. Maybe you can hip fire a few headshots, but at the same time, movement is always a big part of their submachine gun play experience, is that you want to get in positions where you can get behind people and get outflank them, and then you can get the headshots off much easier. So again, having objective based modes where it's not limited by kills and you can just sort of get around and flank people who are sitting on an objective. So we could talk about hardpoint and those sorts of things, but it's fine, it's fine. Keep it simple. Domination. Filter it in your quick play. Don't do hardcore. Not with a submachine gun. You can, again, difficulty's up to you, but just simple stuff. Now, you could run stuns and things in terms of support items, but the best thing is just shooting people as quick as possible. So, nothing else really matters. Just going for those headshots. Next one. Oh, wait, chuck it there. So we go. Shotguns. Now, I say they're all good at headshots when you aim for the head and can hit the head. So that's pretty basic. You do want more shots. I do think, your Lockwood locks you into 2 shots. Maybe you'll feel more pressure to make those 2 shots in the head. And if you don't get those, maybe you'll be a bit upset. But if you can nail, say on shipment, any of these shotguns and lots of bullets, it doesn't matter. You can still nail people in the head. Because the range is so short on shipment, it doesn't punish the other shotguns as much in terms of the ones with more damage. So the Bryson 890 is pretty damn good. Plenty of bullets, good damage. Now the question is, really, do you put a sight on? Is it necessary? And again, this is totally a personal thing. So I wouldn't go anything bigger than, I wouldn't put anything big on there. Just little sight if you're desperate. Even a Slimline Pro if you're desperate. But for the most part, you shouldn't need it. Because say you're on shipment, you just got to aim high. Sometimes you'll catch the neck and the upper chest and you won't get the headshot. You just have to live with it and move on to the next one. But you're more likely to get streaks. So again, it may be easier to do this whole challenge. Shipment. I just keep saying shipment. Okay, now this is where we sort of have a difference. LMGs, again, depending on your skill, you could run the HCR, get the best aim down sight. The RPK is okay, it's not terrible. Or you got lots of bullets and you play shoot house, you put yourself in a good position, you play ground war, hold the spot, depending on invasion, when they all start to push, say your team's losing by a lot and the enemy starts pushing forward, you can get good kills. Vice versa, if you're pushing them, you can get good kills. But at the same time, you'll get too many bots. And again, we talk about operators versus bots, but it is what it is. So HCR in shipments probably more than reasonable, or any of them are reasonable in shipment. You just have to set up, because the time it takes you to get aiming and shooting with any of these guns is slower. So you just have to find a spot, sit there. And shipment, someone will bound to spawn in front of you or behind you. And you'll get a shot at them. I think, in terms of sights, I think some of them are much better than others. So easily, the Icarus is much better than the other ones. The RPK, probably, this is the sort of the token OP weapon. Any sort of sight, the SZ Mini is nice because you get the little dials. But any sight here is probably fine in the early ones. If you're playing a longer range one, you can chuck a bigger sight on there. But again, you're more likely to get headshots in mid to short engagement, even with the light machine gun. In the long distance, you're probably going to get out sniped in any mode that even gives the snipers a chance to play. So, domination, probably better just quick play domination. Shipment, yes, if you're skillful and you can get the shots away, but you may feel it's a bit too punishing at times. So just playing normally, but aiming for the head. Or just be ambitious and do shipment. You know, it's up to you, your preference in terms of maybe you don't want to be flashbanged and all sort of stuff. But again, they changed the settings on that, so it's great. Next, if you're not happy with that, Icarus is awesome. So just get in the right spots, Icarus. Now, marksman rifles. So this is kind of a, I mean, yeah, that's really, we got the SAB 50. I got the crossbow there. SAB 50. Or you can use the SPR 208. Yeah, it's really just, it's just this one. The SAB 50, 50 cal. And then just chuck on, you don't even need a scope. Yeah, I was better without a scope. So yeah, scopeless SAB 50, that'll do you. There's really no other, and you can play any mode. This is a great headshot weapon. Yeah, you can play shipment, no problem. You can play any mode. It's just an awesome weapon. Go for the head. Good luck. You probably won't need much luck at all. It's not too bad, honestly. If you want a scope, you can put a scope on there. I don't recommend a high-powered scope, honestly. Just a little red dots I would probably do if you want to do that. But it is a great stock aim. Yeah. So that's pretty much simple there. Ignore the rest of them. Lockwood, and that's garbage. ERB is great too. I mean, there's some good stuff around here in the land of the... And look at me, not even leveling them up. See, that's how lazy I am. Alright, come on. Now, for the snipers, you probably say Signal 50, get plenty of shots. I do like the MCPR better. Just from a feel point of view. But any of them are good. Again, headshots, so you're going to have a chance. You can take the scope off. Yeah, and chuck on a stock. Over there. So we can do the Corona and irons, but I do think just stick with the stock standard and just go for the head. So shoot house is good. You can line them up. Some of the multiplayer maps are better at this than others. But at the same time, you've got invasion, you've got ground war for longer distances. It's just skill. It's going to be skill is the question, and time. So you just shipment you can do, and just as soon as you spawn in, you aim down the sight. Like literally just as soon as you spawn, aim down the sight. And just, start shooting. And if you're doing the Signal 50, you can shoot a few times and maybe you'll get someone. But at the same time, you'll have more time to appreciate the enemies and have a good look at their face and their facial features. If you're in, say, domination, quick play, normal, things are going on, you can set up, maybe you can sit back, and then you can just shoot people in the face. But that said, headquarters, again, they're going to be on the objective, so you have a chance to look at them at the objective, defending the objective, maybe you'll have a chance. Hard point, again, there's one spot, so it's easier if enemies are on the spot. Not always, though. Sometimes people play off the objective in hard point. Same with headquarters, really, too. They play off the objective, and they're more annoying to deal with, actually, when they don't all sit on the objective. Free-for-all and all that? Nah. No. And then search and destroy and all that? No. None of the ones where you have limited lives. Because, again, it just delays it. That said, if you're talented, it doesn't matter what mode you're in. But this is a recommendation, and I hope it helps in some way. So next one. Oh, I'm going to talk launches in a second. Alright, melee. Switch. Okay, handguns first. See, we've got handguns. Now, this is, again, a skill preference. So people would say the Desert Eagle is probably the way to go. Or maybe not. Just the normal way is the way to go. All of them are good. I think every handgun is good. The auto, if you're doing a Kimbo, yes, you can get the headshots in really close quarters, but it's a bit tough because I feel like you're outgunned by SMGs if they really get the drop. If they got really precise tuning, then they can outgun you. So just be careful with that. Basilisk, I think, is fantastic. Snake Shot's nice. Not as good as it used to be. In 2019, Modern Warfare Snake Shot was absolutely ridiculous. So they did nerf it. But just normal shooting with the Basilisk, I think, the Magnum, is really nice. And it's really good for headshots. But that said, you dual wield the P890 or the X12 and just tap it, you can get headshots. The akimbo, you can do it, or just firing normally. They're all really good weapons. I think that's absolutely clear. I personally, though, I don't think the Desert Eagle is as good as the other ones, but again, preferences. Some people really like the Desert Eagle, but I just happen to think it's not, and its stock aiming is not as good. The stock aiming for the Basilisk, I think, is the absolute best. I just love it. You know, I just think it's great. You don't even need a sight, and I like the way it feels. It's just and you can do akimbo, but I wouldn't recommend akimbo. Again, you want to aim down the sights, but for the other ones you can akimbo, and you can still get some good value out of that. You can still catch a head with the P890, just sort of click, 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 and it somehow just gets them. It's a mystery. Launches, it's just kills. So this is you can run the Joker if you're insane. If you've already done your camo stuff with the Joker, you're just a mad person. I just can't be bothered with that. But to each their own. RPG, shipment, shoot it as soon as you spawn, or you shoot the pillar, or you shoot the Joker. If you can get the Joker shot off as soon as you spawn a shipment, you're doing great. So you get plenty of kills. It's only 40 kills. It's not a big deal, honestly. Even just with the RPG, just spawn in and noob tube. Classic noob tube. Alright, melee, either's fine. And my personal preference, though, for melee is to do third person mosh pit, because I think the meleeing, the animation for melee works better in third person. It doesn't lock on as harshly as in first person. In first person, you do find yourself following targets. So if there's two people, sometimes you'll go for one that's not the ideal and you want to change target, but you're already locked into the animation to swing and miss at the first target, and then you get shot by the second one. And the people can run around you easier in first person with a knife. I feel like you can lose sight of the enemy if you miss them with that first shot, or if you go early with the knife. So again, the dual Kodachi sort of kinder in that regard. It does have a more forgiving, has a slightly longer range, so it's a bit more forgiving. But that said, you don't sprint as fast. So it's kind of weighing those two things up. So Shipment is, of course, the best map for this. This is absolutely no question. You can go around really quick and stab people really quick. But just third-person mosh pit, I want you to consider that, because it just, for me, it's much easier to do the melee mechanic in third person, and it's not as jarring when you get shot when you're running around with a knife, because you want to get really close and then you just miss, just a little bit too far away, and then they get you and it's like, ugh. But on third person, it's less, you don't get that feeling. It's just sort of less personal, as it were, less intimate. But yeah, both weapons are good. There's no question to that. So you can do either, and it's really just about playing normally with a knife. I think speed with a knife, if you say you're in a normal quick play domination team deathmatch, if you move through the map quick enough, you circle around, you get behind spawn, you'll catch people unawares, and you get backstabs. Shipment, you'll just get backstabs because you'll spawn behind people. Simple. So yeah, that's pretty much, oh shit, a quick one. And one of the things I really like is the, yeah, look at this. See, look, so this is what you're going for. Oh, there's the raid ones. Where's the new one? Why isn't it there? Oh, whatever. Whatever. Solid colors work best. So the last comment I'll make. The camo you unlock, I don't think it's that good, to be honest. I think that the solid colors are better. Particularly orange. Orange and blue just look fantastic. And white's awesome. White's the best for the Kodachi, by the way. Look at that. That is clean. Oh, so nice. So yeah, good luck with the challenges. Good luck on your path of the Ronin. And yeah, it's been Frosty Fire 10. It's a bit long this time, but it is what it is. I hope this helps you in some way. If you have any disagreements, put them in the comments. I always appreciate more discussion. But yeah, you're probably already done. I did this quite late, but that said, you never know. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.